Welcome to our coffee talk. This is Bitcoin Brew with Amy and Becca. We've been scouring the news to filter out the noise and bring you the latest in what's happening in the crypto, specifically Bitcoin space. Becca, how is your December starting out?
It's been great. Very fast and furious for sure.
We're already 8 days in.
I know. It's really hard to believe.
It is. I wanted to tell you about something that came in the mail for me this week.
Ooh, that's so cute.
Isn't this fun?
Yes.
This is a sweet preloaded gift card from our friends at Ballet. It is preloaded with $10 worth of Bitcoin. So you can see here it's 0.005 Bitcoin.
Nice.
I could spend it at any vendor that accepts Bitcoin, or if I needed to transfer it, I could onto a wallet. And I'm thinking I'm going to give this as a gift to my nieces and nephews who are growing up. They're not playing with their toys anymore. I think it'd be a great way to get them used to and acclimated to transacting with Bitcoin.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they could go to Chipotle and get a taco bowl or whatever.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so good right now.
It does.
By the way, this is not a sponsored segment, so thank you, Ballet, for sending this to me. I appreciate it. This week, we are seeing an upswing in the crypto market in the wake of recent events. Ethereum is up 6.7% at almost 1,300, and Bitcoin is up 2.6 at 17,000. Jerome Powell indicated that December will bring smaller interest rate hikes, hopefully signaling the end of these cycles. 3 so far this year, the most since 1994. Today, we're going to discuss highlights from the African Bitcoin Conference, Coinbase calling out Apple, some Bitcoin price predictions heading into the holiday, and a new Bitcoin mining technology program being developed as we speak. Becca, you're first at bat.
Well, as far as I know, we aren't talking about FTX or SBF this week. First time in a while, right?
It has been a while.
And there's always plenty to talk about there. But we're going to move on to other more exciting things. The first is the African Bitcoin Conference. It wrapped up just yesterday in Accra, Ghana. So several African nations have adopted Bitcoin, over the last couple of years, but Nigeria is leading the way and is one of the fastest growing user bases for Bitcoin globally. Some of the conference sponsors included Paxful, Fedi, Block, Alex Gladstein's Human Rights Foundation, Gridless Compute, Mahler's Strike, Bitnom, among others. This is pretty huge. With growing unrest all around the world, I'm thinking specifically in Iran and China, this is just a really monumental event to happen in Ghana. It's an absolutely incredible gathering of individuals, specifically because it highlights why Bitcoin can be the currency of choice due to hyperinflation in some African countries and a lack of security around fiat currency. Bitcoin offers monetary freedom, monetary independence. As I mentioned earlier, the unrest in Iran, I don't know if you've been following, but there's been protests for women not choosing to wear a hijab. Recently, it was announced that women's who refuse to wear a hijab, their bank accounts would be frozen. And I know it's not a cut and dry answer that Bitcoin will fix this, but it just highlights a use case for Bitcoin. That's something that we here, probably in America, wouldn't necessarily consider. There's also the Chinese protests around all the COVID lockdowns, which hopefully they really are easing up. I know they announced that in the news a few days ago. But again, it's another just thing to consider when we think about what Bitcoin can do. So, even in Nigeria, it was announced that they are pushing their CBDC called the e-Naira coin. And I do realize this is extremely controversial. I did run it by our higher-ups before I mentioned it on the show, but I think it's just almost impossible to overlook. So we have to continue educating the public about the importance of Bitcoin and what it can do.
It sounds like an amazing conference. Not only the industries represented, but they had a heavy hitter list of speakers.
They really did. And I thought it was cool that Jack Dorsey actually went himself to the conference. I think they were expecting around 1,000 people. So it's not like the biggest, it's not Bitcoin Miami, which is not to be expected. But I just thought it was really cool that he went to highlight the event. There's other people there too. Alex Gladstein went, and just their list of sponsors, like you said.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Do you agree that Africa is the predominant area where crypto adoption is occurring?
Yes. I think Nigeria and Vietnam, as far as I know, are leading the way on just adoption per capita, I think is the term. So, Yeah, I mean, there's just so much more going on to Bitcoin than what we talk about here in America, I think.
Yes, and the fact that they're already rolling out CBDCs, I mean, I have red flags flying only because I've heard such negative things about it, but maybe we could be proven wrong here.
I mean, I think that CBDCs, if they're kept in their lane, like won't be as horrible as they could be, but we'll just see. I don't know.
Speaking of announcements,
Yes.
I wanted to tell you about a recent development of people running into issues transferring their NFTs on Coinbase Wallet on their iPhone. Coinbase Wallet is calling them out in a big way by accusing them of creating new policies to protect their profits at the expense of customer investment in NFTs, thus undermining developer innovation in the crypto ecosystem. So supposedly, Apple wants 30% of gas fees, which is a blockchain transaction fee paid to the network validators for their services to the blockchain. Thing is, Apple isn't even using blockchain tech, so it would be impossible for them to take a gas fee. Check out this tweet. It says, for anyone who understands how NFTs and blockchains work, this system is clearly not possible. Apple's proprietary in-app purchase system does not support crypto, so we couldn't even comply if we tried. So that got me wondering, is Apple even using blockchain? And I found out that the tech giant has been investigating ways to use blockchain to certify timestamps according to a patent pending. It would protect your SIM and micro SD from being hacked. Coinbase Wallet is hoping that this is a mistake and has tweeted an invitation to Apple to discuss the matter. Apple has not yet responded to the allegations, so it could just be as simple as a bug on the latest operating system. So be watching for more developments on this.
I have a couple of thoughts in that, obviously with the recent fallout with FTX and other exchanges, I mean, Coinbase, if they really are solvent, like they say that they are, and I hope they are, then a lot of their revenue is probably from gas fees, right?
I didn't think about that.
I mean, I don't
Probably
think,
yes.
so taking 30% is a huge ask, and it's not even possible, although there is a way to make it possible. You could write in a new caveat to the code or whatever, add it, or just pay them what 30% would be. So there is a way to make it happen, but it's just as funny to me that they're like, I don't know, just taking that. That's a huge chunk. And also Hugh at Apple was like, oh yeah, we want some gas fees. Like who says that? I don't know.
Oh, another way to get some money. Maybe we should try it.
Yeah.
Use it as a, key phrase or something.
Yeah.
And they already charge people, like, in order to have an app on Apple, you have to pay a certain amount back to Apple to have your services provided.
Yep.
So.
A little greedy, maybe. A little petty. Ooh, I don't know. I do use Apple products though, so. All right. Well, speaking of Apple and Christmas presents, as we head into Christmas, you'll likely find yourself inundated with more questions from friends and family about Bitcoin. Did this happen to you at Thanksgiving?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, man.
Way more than last year. I was amazed and glad too.
Yeah? Okay. Well, are you seeing the same people at Christmas that you saw at Thanksgiving?
I will.
Okay. Well, so maybe you won't get quite as many. But I thought it might be helpful to kind of get some price predictions for Bitcoin. If the human rights aspect doesn't cut it for some of your financy friends and family. Tim Draper, a serial investor and successful entrepreneur. Have you heard of Tim Draper something? I forgot the name of his company.
Yes. He's been popping up. He did a piece about women leading the way for Bitcoin that I've been intending to listen to.
Interesting.
Just send it to you.
Okay. I really don't know a ton about him, but I've done some research on him lately, and anyway, he predicted Bitcoin. Do you want to guess what he thought it would be at in 2023? So this is around, 6 to 8 month time frame.
Okay. I mean, I've always heard it's not a good idea to predict Bitcoin price because
True.
Bitcoin does what it will do without anybody's interference. But I'm going to say, we're at 17 now. I'm going to be optimistic and say 25,000.
Yeah, that's what I would say. For sure.
What did Tim say?
Mr. Draper said 250,000 by 2023. So we'll see. Lee Bratcher, president of the TBC, says it's likely that Bitcoin won't reach numbers that high until 2025. Still very soon, though. All right. Well, some would say Bitcoin will drop even lower, or that Bitcoin is dead because, it's crashed significantly. But I think that's misinformation. So I have two thoughts about this. The first is I've heard a lot about this lately, DCAing. It stands for dollar cost averaging, and courtesy of Charles Schwab, we get this definition. Dollar cost averaging is the practice of investing a fixed dollar amount on a regular basis. Regardless of the share price, it's a good way to develop a disciplined investing habit, be more efficient in how you invest, and potentially lower your stress because, you're not always like checking the cost or inflation, etc. DCA is probably the most effective way to stack sats. It's a no-brainer once you kind of understand what Bitcoin's doing with its price loops and all of that. The second is Bitcoin price will eventually go up. So what is more fundamentally important than the price will ever be is what we talked about earlier, in that it's human dignity, moving out extreme poverty, allowing people to save money and build businesses is really what the Bitcoin philosophy is all about. I will get off my soapbox now.
I mean, this graph, though, behind you shows that there was no death cycle. There's been no, predominantly downward turn. So, I mean, I'm just kind of tired of that story that keeps popping up in the media and everywhere.
I really think it just goes to show what you said earlier, in that you cannot predict Bitcoin price. And that's really, it's like an exciting aspect of it that we like to kind of hint at or talk about and people love to post about. But it really is kind of a non-factor because it's all about that growing adoption.
So speaking of Bitcoin, there is an industry need for Bitcoin mining technicians here in our great state and probably beyond. This week, I had the honor of visiting Texas State Technical College. They are leading the charge on creating a program to train individuals to work on mining sites. The program is an amalgamation of electronics, hardware, software study, welding, and more. Our friends at Rhodium, Lancium, and Chola Petro are helping provide them with the means to make this happen. Texas Bitcoin Foundation was integral in creating the the curriculum to be taught. And then the Bitcoin Mining Foundation is hoping to help secure some S19s for the students to interact with and learn how they work, learn how to repair them. And after 3 semesters, you could go to work at a mining company and get compensated nicely. They hope to welcome their first students in February of this coming year of 23.
Oh, that's so exciting. I think we heard them at the summit.
Yes.
Is that right? They were there? Okay.
Natalie Smolinski sat down with Kendall Carrillo of TSTC, and they discussed the plan. And I just didn't realize how far forward it already is.
I don't think
they're ready to
either.
roll it out.
Okay.
This will be the first certification of its kind.
That's very exciting. Maybe I should go jump in that program.
You should.
Got my overalls on already, so I'm ready to go.
You could go straight to the mining site when you're done.
Yep.
I love it. Oh my goodness. We hope you enjoyed the show. Find us on Instagram at bitcoin.brew and follow us on Twitter. I'm at TBC Amy.
And I'm Ray Bay Becca.
Hope everyone has a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Hey, it's Amy with the Texas Blockchain Council. Thanks for watching. We've got more great content. Subscribe here. Like here. What am I even pointing at? Nobody knows. See you next time.